My father. My father was an academic, and I grew up in a house and around a community that viewed my father as a great man. So I looked up to my dad because a lot of people respected him, and I was a young kid, and I used to go to his classes with him, and he'd have hundreds of people that he would transfix with his oratory. And when I say hundreds, he had the best attended classes in the history of the University of Minnesota. And people would really come there to see him. He was a riveting orator. And the subject of his oratory, or what he was most famous for, a class that he started in 1967, it was a class called Racial Thought. And at that time, you have, to put it into some kind of context, we're in the middle of the Black Liberation Movement. The racial divide was a chasm, incredible chasm. There was no discussion in the society at all of the genocide against the natives. None. Hadn't even come up yet. Had not even been brought up. And of course, we were just post this genocide in Europe that had taken place under the Nazis. And my father waded into that with the intention of helping students understand how they think about race. And he dealt with the genocide of the Native Americans decades before it was fashionable. And if you take a look at it in terms of the historical or the year, this was in the 60s, World War II ended in 45. The people that he went after, which was a man named Herbert Spencer and Charles Darwin and Galton, the people that he went after, these were the pillars of the British academic world. And they all lived from 1840 up until the early 1900s. They were all contemporaries of each other, and they were actually revered in the European intellectual tradition because they were biologists. I mean, these types of scholars were polymaths. This was before the era of specialization. These people knew philosophy and they knew science. They knew a wide range, and they were productive across a wide range of disciplines. So their productivity and their domination of the English intellectual tradition made them revered historically as the greatest scholars of their time. And we know that this is true in our time because we know who Charles Darwin is. A little bit less Spencer, and not at all Galton. But these are three amigos, and we got to sort these people out. And my father was sorting them out. My God, he opened the door to critiquing these people. So this is like getting in the ring with Muhammad Ali of that tradition. These people were the heavyweights, and this scholar from Minnesota, University of Minnesota, that's another story. He could have been at Harvard, my dad, but he stayed here to take care of his mother and father. How's that for the old ways? Okay, beautiful, right? Could have gone to Harvard. Nope, had an old mother and father here, and he refused that chance to stay here, and he loved to teach. He was not so interested in being famous. He was really interested in, teaching students. And he went after these people. He went after them.